I welcome you all. Now, honestly, I didn't think I would ever make this video or get to this point to have to say this to people who are thinking of getting into the Uber or Lyft business. Maybe unless you want to do food deliveries, but I'm talking about rideshare, driving for Uber or Lyft on X, XL, SUV, Lux. And the reason, my thumbnail, I went like this, there are definitely a couple of pros, and I'll explain this to newbies. But if you are a newbie, right, I'm not giving you a thumbs down. I'm giving a thumbs down to the high risk entering this game, right? And what I want to share with newbies is every single day, and I'm seeing it, I'm sharing this with you because it's real, right? It's real. Every single day, I'm getting more and more emails and text messages that drivers are getting deactivated, right? If you look at my previous video, they are risk assessing drivers with all these new patterns, right, to determine whether a driver is risky. Uber and Lyft will not take the slightest chance, and they're relying 100% on AI, on artificial intelligence, which is really not proven, right? But I find there's a lot of racial discrimination going on by these both these companies are being way too harsh by the way they are judging your driving style, by the way they are looking and studying your behavior through those cameras and dash cams, right? And with these patterns, they're pretty much copying what other companies like Amazon are already doing. They filed all these patents to say, is the driver risky, right? If just remotely risky, we deactivate them. Now, if you are a newbie, right, and you think, okay, well, great, I can see people are making good money in some of these cities like San Francisco, Las Vegas, LA, etc., right? And you're looking at screenshots of veterans, it's easy to be drawn into the game and say, wow, I can earn that same money. But little do you know, dear newbie, that the risk factor is so high at the moment. So you go out there and say, okay, I'm going to go and commit to a Honda Civic, or I'm going to buy a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Sienna as a minivan. I might even spend the money because I really want to shoot for the higher clients. I'm going to maybe shoot for a new Suburban. There's several factors that are lined up against a newbie. Astronomical car prices, right? 20-25% over sticker price doesn't make sense. Astronomical gas prices, where your margins of profits become so thin. And then the number one risk factor, I would say, is the fact that they are too quickly deactivating drivers. So here you are making this massive financial commitment, right? You've explained to your wife, you've explained to your girlfriend, whatever, or you're single and you say, you know what, I'm going to take on this risk. I'm going to go out there and finance this car. Too many people get deactivated too quickly. And I'm talking about wrongful deactivations. Uber and Lyft pulling the trigger too quickly and putting a stamp on their driver and saying, they're too risky, we'll deactivate them. Now you're sitting on a car. You've just committed to a minivan. You've just committed to a Suburban. You've just bought a Toyota Prius, right? And please, if you are thinking, if you're not trusting what I'm telling you, and if you do still think, well, you know what, okay, I'm willing to take the risk, I'm willing to roll the dice, at least go out there and get yourself a really, really inexpensive used hybrid Toyota Prius, right? I could pick those up at the auction for $5,000, right? Versus going to commit to a car that's $25,000, $30,000, $35,000 right now with these high sticker prices. It's too risky, right? The other thing that newbies get lured into very quickly, very easily, right? I do want to share what Joel Ferrer says. He says, I did a stupid move in 2017. I bought a car I could use for Uber and A while I owe 7,000 left on the loan. It wasn't worth it. Years into this, and I'm still paying for it. I want to sell the car. Well, that's really good information, and newbies need to hear what Joel is sharing with them. IQ boy, shout out to all the 11 people in the house with me right now. You know, maybe you are veterans out of the 11 and 12 that I'm talking to. Maybe you are veterans and you haven't decided to go back, or you are going back. I've made this video specifically for newbies that are thinking of jumping in there, right? Another massive problem is what's up with people. I know people that have texted me, they're waiting 3 months, 5 months. One individual just got green lighted after 8 months waiting on the background check. Listen to this, 8 months they waited, and they contacted and they emailed. And that, by the way, dear newbie, is a complete waste, an utter waste of your time and energy to try and get through to anyone at, you know, at the customer support. If you're thinking of joining, you might as well go down to the hub, try and get a one-on-one meeting. You'll get more out of that. But going through their 1-800 number, you're wasting your time. So you got all these factors lined up against you. Ultra high car sticker prices, massive gas prices, right? Super long wait times or background checks. You've bought this car, you've downloaded the app, you filled in all your information, and you're waiting and you're waiting. And meanwhile, first car payment comes in, second car payment has to be done, and you're still not earning, right? And I'm not just saying this is a disease that Uber has. This is happening on Uber and Lyft, right? On both platforms, ripe deactivations, wrongful deactivations through the roof, super long waits on background checks, right? These guarantees that they offer you, oh, we're going to give you all this money if you join. You might think, okay, I'm going to factor in this $1,500 bonus, which is going to help me towards the down payment. I'm willing to take the risk. You're not going to get that money, right? That is a guarantee that they have offered you after 100 trips. And then they turn around and say, well, you've exceeded that amount. You've made that, so we owe you nothing. So there are just too many factors right now lined up against a newbie, right? And when these executives come out and say, oh, the drivers will all come back the moment unemployment runs out. Wrong. I made a few videos about this. Wrong. Executives, you are saying that and you're fluffing it up for the financial world. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna make money. The drivers are coming back. They're not coming back, right? They have moved on to either better paying jobs, right? They are not willing to get into the car, maybe in Chicago or DC or very dangerous neighborhoods that suddenly have the highest carjackings ever reported. They don't want to run that risk and end up a statistic, right? As a statistic. And then you got a lot of drivers that are looking at this and thinking, okay, should I get into this game? What I'm reading on Facebook, what I'm seeing in the videos, the feedback that I'm getting from drivers is that there's so many risk factors involved, right? Super high, again, let's run through them. Super high car sticker prices, ultra high gas prices. The likelihood of you getting wrongfully deactivated in the first 90 to 120 days is real, right? So why do I go out and make this commitment to this expensive car when I have all of these factors lined up against me? Jimmy just shares with us, deactivated last week. Here we are, we're talking about this right now. Hey, Jimmy, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry they just deactivated you, probably wrongfully deactivated you, right? But just listen to what Jimmy just said, right? He's a guest in this live show that shares, I got deactivated last week. Folks, I have never received this many emails and text messages. I got deactivated. They wrongfully terminated me. They wrongfully deactivated me. I just did this and then they deactivated me. They got their facts wrong. The rider said this, I got deactivated. And you are thinking of going out there and buying your minivan or maybe a Suburban when you have all of these factors lined up against you. So it saddens me that I have to, because I'm a person that encourages jobs, right? I want people to earn. I want people to take money back to their home, share it with their family, afford their kids an education. I'm all for creating jobs. Don't get me wrong. I am the world's biggest optimist, right? But I'm also a realist, right? And when I look at the real stories, the real, stories from the street, what drivers are reporting, I can only take that knowledge and pass that on to newbies. I don't know why Uber is taking 50 to 60% from the fare. Thank you. We just have another factor now, dear newbie, that the amount that Uber and Lyft are actually deducting from that fare that you are bringing in has gone through the roof. It's now 50, 60% or higher. Just made another video where the guy's like, I'm not driving anymore. They took the majority of my money. It was 70 or 80% that they took. So you have all of these factors. Why? Because they want to juice up the numbers. They want to show Wall Street, oh, they're going to maybe make a profit. No, they are they have such a dire problem at the moment, right? They're not getting drivers. They're overcharging riders. Riders are pissed. Drivers are upset over wrongful deactivations. Drivers are upset because the majority of their money is taken out of that trip, and Uber and Lyft are holding on to that, right? So it's not looking really good on paper for Uber and Lyft. Now, the picture that they tried to portray to the outside world, oh, everything is glamorous, everything is fine, our stock is fine. No, it's not. It's not. You have to read between the lines here. So Prince Ali Abawa says Uber will screw you in any way they can. In the end, it'll bankrupt you. Dawood said Lyft deactivated me for no reason, right? So here you go. You committing to this expensive car, and for no reason they are deactivating you, and it's ripe. It's like I have never ever received so many text messages and emails. Deactivation, wrongful termination, deactivation. Oh my God. No reason given, no customer support to explain, and you've committed to this car. So just hear what I have to say, like all these factors lining up. Now, if you're a veteran and you've driven for years and you've taken a little bit of time off during the pandemic and you back in your car, you're probably making good money. And they know that you are probably very valuable to that company because you've done X amount of 1,000 trips. But even then now, with all these new patents and all these new algorithms governing you, not tried and tested, AI, artificial intelligence, not tried and tested, they are wrongfully terminating good drivers, really, really good drivers. Veteran 4.9 5-star drivers are being deactivated, and it's BS, right? So that disconnect with a couple of people on the top there with their big degrees, the Yale, Harvard degrees, Tony West, the legal guy, they are clueless, folks. They are clueless what is happening on ground level, right? Clueless. It's this arrogance from the top. The only phone calls that they will take are the investors, right? Trying to keep them happy, trying to portray this beautiful picture to the outside world, to the Wall Street Journal, to the Financial Times, to the New York Times. Hey, we're doing great. But if you have read between the lines enough, like I have, all the factors are lining up that there's something big going down. They are not doing that great. So if they have to now announce third quarter earnings, and they've made all these promises, they said, oh, the drivers are going to come back after the pandemic. No, they haven't, right? The CEO of Stride just announced it today. Sorry, our data that we've collected is showing that the drivers are not coming back. So Uber has a massive problem. You cannot juice up the numbers and screw over the riders and take crazy monies, 2-3 times the amount of a fare that they're used to, and you think you're going to run that forever. You've made promises to the rider that the prices will come down. They haven't come down. They've gone even further up. So they have to take from the riders and pay out the drivers the very lowest amount right now try to make that margin because they do not have the drivers on the road. Bill says, Uber says my Sport Track too old, Lyft not. I have 85 comments, clean rides. iCubo am deactivated. There was 16,000 rides and a 4.97 rating, and support can't tell me why. Now, newbie, I want you to, let me read this for you again. This is valuable information. iCubo says, I'm deactivated with 16,000 rides. You know how much money this guy has made, Uber and Lyft? The 4.97 rating, that's almost perfect, and support cannot tell you why. And why cannot support tell you why? Because they're over in the Philippines, they're over in Bogota, Colombia, a lot of them are in India, and they are clueless as to what happens in the Uber world in Houston, in the Uber world in Salt Lake City, in the Uber or Lyft world in LA. They're clueless. They have a script. They stick by that script. They're getting paid pennies, right? They're not interested in their job. They show up there and they sit in this cubicle and they pissed off, right? And they mess around. They just dick around with you on the phone. You get nowhere with support, right? And any veteran will know what I'm talking about because it's probably one of the most frustrating things to try and get anything achieved with customer support, and then even more frustrating getting an answer or the correct answer or having them understand your issue because they do not understand the issue. They are not drivers. They're not on the ground. A different culture. They're thousands and thousands of miles away. Zero clue. Zero clue. So yeah, save a penny here, save a dollar there, outsource, outsource, outsource. The quality. So supersonic salaries for executive, and the rest get paid a pittance. It's a recipe that is ripe for disaster. And as Jimmy says, the gas keeps going up and up and up. By the way, John, he said, go Braves. Did they pull it off? Did the Braves win the series? I don't know. I haven't checked the latest score. If somebody can let me know. I was actually routing for Houston, for the Astros. Oh, so John, congratulations. He says the Braves won. So there's party time Atlanta. So good for Atlanta. Travis says, I think when a phone battery dies, a driver should be able to easily log in on another phone would ease a lot of problems. It's a good point. Gas will be $1 more like a few months and the rate of pay will be the same. It's a disgrace. Jose says, Professor, we need to make paper signs, put them on our cars so new drivers understand to stop driving for low money. Please, we need to do something before December. I like that idea. I like that idea. Slick Nick says, I'm starting to miss the gas prices below $4 per gallon. Now that Costco is at $3.99 at the lowest. Uber recipe for complete bankruptcy, says Mercedes-Benz. By the way, great title, Mercedes-Benz. Great cars. I've had probably 3 or 4 Mercedes-Benz in my lifetime. Both BMW and Mercedes-Benz, love them, right? But is it worth it, dear newbie? You've heard several stories now, feedback from subscribers sharing it in this live feed, right? And I can only report back to you based on the knowledge that I receive daily from drivers all around the country. And it doesn't look healthy, right? What saddens me the most, there's a few factors that really, I'm sorry, but really depress me about these companies, is A, the way they treat the drivers with zero respect, right? They do not address the fact that higher gas prices, ultra high gas prices, mean fractional margins for the driver. It's like, nope, we don't want to hear about it. We don't want to see the numbers. We don't want to see those gas prices. We definitely don't want to hear about it. And it's keep on overcharging the rider, and it's keep on taking more away from the driver. Which CEO runs his company like that, right? Sadly, the CEOs of Uber and Lyft, Dara Khosrowshahi, my favorite CEO, and Logan Green, my second favorite CEO, are clueless. They're not dialed in. They are not on the street, right? They have reconnects. There we go. If I lose the signal a few times, I'm up here in the mountains in Calabasas in the canyon, so the reception is not. Should be back, Slick Nick. What did Andrew just say? Sorry, I want to read. Andrew says Uber's true rate of pay is like in the negatives for drivers instead with all those losses. So I've given you a lot to think about, right? And I mean, you know, we've named numerous factors that are lined up against newbies. You've heard additional stories from veterans. Many of these people I've known for years in my channel. They share and share and share information, right? So maybe you hold on for a while. Well, maybe gas prices go down. Maybe should by mid 2022, car prices should come down, right? Which brings the risk factor down a bit. Maybe they reassess their AI, their artificial intelligence, and say, hang on, this is costing our company a lot of money trying to recruit drivers, and a few weeks later or a week later, we're already deactivating them. Hang on, maybe we're making a mistake. Maybe we get a new CEO and things change. But to jump in right now, to make that commitment to a $20, $30, $40, $50, $80,000 car, nah. The only angle I can see right now for a newbie is if your intentions are to build out a private company, private driver, private limo company. You have the money for a fairly decent car. I'm talking $40,000, $50,000 upwards. You have the money set aside for all your state licenses and your commercial insurance, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get in knowing that I might be deactivated after a few months, and I'm going to try and grab as many clients as I can from Uber and Lyft and convert them to private clients. Very easy. Business cards, business cards, business cards. By the way, if you need a private trip, I'll be there, right? You know, then maybe the risk factor comes down a little bit and you start building out your private sphere very quickly, and who knows, maybe you get deactivated by Lyft, you're still on Uber, you're recruiting, you're changing them to private clients. Maybe somewhere down the line, you know, they deactivate you as well. Or you go out there and make this massive commitment to this new car, and they're sitting on your background check, and they're sitting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. Well, then you better be a good marketer. If you've set up your private limo license, you better make your videos, your social media, and you better hope that you can recruit enough clients to get rolling. Now is the time to get private clients. I've probably picked up 40 private clients in 2 months. In 2 months, 40 new clients, 40, no jokes. And that's on my existing 120 clients. I'm double booked. I am triple booked. I'm now farming out all these leads to other good drivers and getting 20% here, 20% here, 20% here. As a private driver, I've never made this type of money. I've been working since 4 a.m. It's now 8:40, and I'm still working. I'm waiting for clients that'll get into the car in 20 minutes. Be going since 4 a.m. this morning, non-stop, right? It's another $1,000 plus day, plus tips. There's a few credit cards that I haven't even run yet. I'll run them when I get home. So I'm telling you, now is the time to get private clients. With the lack of Uber drivers and Lyft drivers in the field, 100 reasons why they're not going back. Private clients are smiling. Private drivers are smiling all day long. I wish it would slow down. It's actually too much, right? You get to a point where you get exhausted. Right now, as I'm talking, my client sends me a message, put 20% right now, as I'm talking. They just texted me, put 20% on top of the fare. Thank you, as a tip. Wonderful. TW, and I work closely with one of the actuarials for one of the startups, and I remember these guys literally are taking their best guess. It's good information. Kanka's in the house. Professor, please guide me to get into your track to have private clients. Kanka, you're in LA, dude. Reach out to me, right? Please, you have my number. It's underneath the videos. I will always take the time one-on-one with any driver in LA and sit down and show them the roadmap, how to make it. LA is the easiest city, and it's a formula I will gladly give and share with any guy that's trying to get in there. Why? Because it's just too much business. That pizza pie is so big, you can just hand out slice after slice after slice, right? So we get together, you treat me for a lunch, I will show you the roadmap, how to make money. Linda's in the house. When you can set your own rate. It's a great thing when you can set your own rate. As a private driver, you can set your own rate, right? This morning, the person wanted me to pick them up at 4 a.m., right? I said, listen, that's super early. I'm going to have to get up at 3:15. I'm going to charge for that. And I charge accordingly. Uber sent an email today. Yeah, I saw that. That was a temporary offline. Now, I thought that was a scam, right? If Uber did that, it's the dumbest move ever. They've sent this email out. I think somebody hacked the system, to be quite honest. Hey Nash says hi back. Mario says hi, Prof. Greetings from Houston. Love Houston. Used to live there for 2 years, right by the Galleria. What's the best way to get private clients as a newbie? Okay, good. Braves won the World Series. Congratulations. I was backing the Astros. I backed the wrong horse there. But I want to answer TW's question. What's the best way to get private clients as a newbie? As a newbie, you got the right car, right? You need the right car. And I'm talking about an XL up. I'm talking about a minivan on the low end, a Toyota Sienna or a Pacifica, Chrysler Pacifica hybrid on the low end, or maybe a 740 BMW or a Mercedes 550, which I don't really encourage. I would start having you look at Suburbans, Cadillacs, Yukons, big SUVs, carry a lot of luggage, a lot of people, and you'll make money. The best way to do is get that car on the Uber and Lyft platform. Every time you have a fantastic passenger in your car, someone you hit it off with, right? Someone that you just get into the best conversation with, you enjoy that 30-minute trip with them, and you say, hey, I thoroughly enjoyed driving with you. Here's my card, right? If you ever need a privilege. That's the easiest way to get in. Now, folks, I'm not a flashy guy, but this is what I pull out cash-wise from my day, right? There's a couple of hundreds in here. This is about 800 cash. More than 800, maybe 900, 950 cash in one day. Cash. Tell the client, say, give me cash, give you a bit of rate, right? Some I still have a couple of credit cards to process. I got Venmos. Today was probably a $1,200 day plus tips, right? Crazy. I mean, again, I've been going since 4 a.m., right? But now's the time, folks. If you are a newbie and you have applied for your state limo license, now is the time to do it. There's not a better time to recruit Uber and Lyft passengers and convert them into your private sphere. Why? The easiest sale is, hey, have you noticed? Listen to me carefully, newbie. Remember, have you noticed how much your rates, how much your fares have gone up? They have doubled or tripled your fares. Is that right? The passenger will say yes, right? I will give you a far, far better rate and far superior and better service, reliable, constant, safe service, right? We can build up a relationship. I'll take you to the airports. I'll pick you up at hotels. I'll take you to concerts. I'll pick you up at sports events. I'll take you to Disneyland. I'll take you to Universal Studio. I can do that as a private driver. I'm fully licensed. Here is my business card, right? Referral, referral, referral. In the last 3 days, I got 4 referrals. Mario, you're welcome. Mario Gurusi. Hey, Mario, I got a Facebook request from you, right? I saw that name. I think now I put, I'm good, sort of like a photographic. I saw that this morning, so I'm gonna add you to my private Facebook. There we go. Big smiles. So honestly, to recap, and I have about another 5 or 6 minutes before the client comes out, and I'll probably abruptly end the video. But to recap, as a newbie, there's too many factors lined up against you right now. Ultra high car sticker prices, ultra high gas prices, record number of wrongful deactivations, right? False bait and switch guarantees, which you don't get. So don't factor that amount, and don't factor a 2,000 or a 1,500 bonus in, because you're not going to get it, right? And then the other huge negative is like, okay, how long are those background checks? I've seen people wait 2 weeks. I've seen people wait 1 week. I've seen people wait 3 months. I've seen people wait 8 months before they got. So you've committed to this car and you have all of those factors lined up. Unless you go in with the attitude, I'm going to get in there, excel or higher, and I am going to recruit private clients like crazy, right? Business card, only with the people that you get on with, only with the people you had an amazing conversation and dialogue. And I have a video, really cool video coming out tomorrow. It means, I think the title is, Are You a Talker? Do you get into conversations? And does talking and does conversation make you more money? Watch that video tomorrow. I think you guys can really look, because I've basically taken 8 years of knowledge and I've stuffed it into this little video. And for me, talking to the client, to the rider, talking to the passenger, getting into a conversation has opened up doors, has upped my tips, has converted more people than I can handle in the private sphere. So for me, I'm a talker. I'm a networker. I'm a conversation guy. I also respect the people that don't like to talk. There might be introverts and say, no, that's not me. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to drive them from A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B, and that's it. Collect my money and I'm done. Watch that video. My GrubHub checker background check was the same day, delivered same day as applying. Now that is good news. That is good news, right? Maybe they're not as stringent and strict on delivery drivers, but when you run all the background check and the DMV check and this check, who's holding it up? Is it, I'm thinking more and more that Uber and Lyft are not processing this fast enough, or not communicating with checker, or not communicating with the courts, or they're not communicating with the DMV fast enough. They should get these drivers on the road. There is no excuse that somebody, you're going to give up after 2 months if you've downloaded the app, you've put in all your credentials, your name, your ID, your driver's license, you've uploaded your insurance, and you're waiting, and 60 days later, 90 days, and you're waiting. You're going to move on. They're going to lose that driver, and they're going to lose so it makes zero sense for me when I look at how management, middle management, upper management, executives at these companies run these companies. It is shocking, right? Shocking what's going on there. And folks, if you are able to talk nicely to people, it's actually very easy to manage people, because it's based on mutual respect. I talk to you nicely, you talk to me nicely. We have this good relationship that works, that we can build on. Sometimes your paths, you part ways. But this style, this arrogant style of only answering to Wall Street, only answering to the investors, and we don't care a continental FUCK what you drivers or what our labor force or what our engineers do, right? As long as we can sort of like paint the picture to the outside world that everything is smelling roses and everything is fine. No, it's not. Mario says 4.99 rating, Toyota Highlander 2020, but want more. I love it. Great attitude. I want more. And that, you see, that already says everything about your character. You're fighting and striving for more. Darwood says empower guys, better pay. Thank you. Like, you empower people, you give them proper rewards, right? Get them discounts at hotels, get them discounts on insurance, bring proper rewards, pay them properly per mile, per minute, right? Actually pass the tips on and don't steal their tips, right? And you will create happy workers that love going to work. But I'm getting into the work and I'm already fearing, okay, well, let's see. I'm too scared to see how much Uber and Lyft are taking out of this fare. Is it 60%? Is it 55%? That should not be the vibe. That you shouldn't be like fearing, looking at your app and like, oh my God, what are they taking out of this fare right now? Am I getting paid properly? Oh my God, they just screwed me over. Out of $100, they paid me $40. Right? Daryl Koshashawi, this is how you run your company? Logan Green, this is how you run your company? I don't care what degree you have. I don't care how much money you make. You're an arsehole. You are an absolute effing arsehole, right? No people skills, no human skills, no respect for your staff. At what ends up in your account and what dresses you buy for your wife, right? Because she's only staying with you because of your money, right? Let's face facts. Now, would I want to be in their Gucci shoes? No, I wouldn't, because I don't want to pay $2 million with permanent security around my ass and around my kids. What a life. When somebody could pop you around the corner, that's how much you hated. Because you hated worldwide by millions of people. Seriously, folks, you want to live like these idiots, these executives? We better than that. I'm telling you right now, you and I, the 67 people in this channel, we better than that. We better humans than they will ever be. They will never, ever be like us. We never, ever want to be like them, right? And somebody just brought up safety. Here you get me going again. I'll be preaching every single video on safety. Like, you have zero regards for safety. You are not willing to pay money to keep your people safe that are bringing you in wheelbarrows of cash, which you then go out and spend on glamorous holidays and buy your wife cars and fancy dresses, dear executives, right? So you don't, let me understand this, you don't care about our safety. You're not investing the money in every possible way you could better that app and increase safety. No, you don't truly care that every single day there's 3 stories in the media that highlight assaults, sexual assaults, rapes, beatings, murders, carjackings. No, you know what? We don't want to see those stories. We don't want to hear that. As long as my investors are doing fine, as long as I'm getting my $40 million, shame on you. Shame on you. Luke, you are correct. I am correct on this one, right? Adam is in the house. It's disgusting. And all I can say, my friends, never, all 74 of you, never, ever be like them. Never. Never drift off to that dark side. All ego driven, all ego, me, what's in it for me, power hungry people that care a rat's ass about the other 5 million people that are bringing in the cash. You never want to be like them. Never. And my duty is to call these a-holes out in every video. Hey, what have you guys done about safety? Let's bring up safety again. Let's bring up safety again. What have you guys done about safety? Let's organize another strike. Let's organize another protest, right? Right? Or have you paid the drivers better? Have you taken into consideration the gas prices? Folks, I filled up at $4.85 a gallon today, right? Thank God I'm just doing private clients all day long. So I'm getting 100% of the proceeds versus some of the other drivers that I'm fighting for that are getting 40% now of that $100 fare. It's wrong. Mercedes-Benz, the CEO of Uber, can't please his wife. No, dude, can't even please himself, man. He is just, never mind his wife, right? We need to send in a driver that really takes care of his wife and services her well, because Dara certainly ain't doing it. That guy has proven to me what a coward he is, right? How scared he is, how incapable he is, how weak he is, right? And I for my life, I do not know why he still holds that position. Maybe he's able to stroke their ego, those investors' ego. Oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. No, it's not fine. The drivers that you're talking about that are coming back, they're not coming back. Quarter to quarter, you're losing. You're not making money. Your riders are pissed. Your drivers are pissed. So I don't know what little song you are singing for your investors, Dara, but for some reason, and I'm having difficulty to understand, you're still holding your position. What are you doing to these guys? Are you blowing them? What are you doing to keep this job? Because you're not doing the job for the drivers. You're definitely not doing the job for the drivers. All right, it is 9 o'clock. My client's going to be in the car in a few seconds, so I'm going to shut off the disco lights here. We're going to end the stream. I had a lot of fun. I want to say thank you. Guys, smash. I want to go over 30 likes. We're only on 27. We've got 67 people in the house. We've sent a powerful message to newbies. We've really educated newbies tonight on this topic. And again, I appreciate all the input from you. Hopefully you guys all stay safe. The good thing is the pandemic numbers are coming down. Things are opening up. You know, reality is just around the corner again. You know, 2018, 2019 days are not too far away. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Cornell. I appreciate you. Jonathan, I appreciate you. Marshall Flores, I appreciate you. Roy Watkus, my good friend from Vegas. Love you, brother. You're an amazing human being. Luke Walk, thank you so much. Mercedes-Benz, thank you. Dawood, thank you. Adam, thank you. Sanki, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Mario Garussi, thank you. And all of you guys, all of you 58 awesome people, thank you for sharing your wonderful stories. Be safe, my friends.